Hello! Hello! Thank you for checking in. It's Wednesday, hump day. Woohoo! Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. I am live on YouTube and Google Hangouts. So hello. Let me say hello to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Jesus and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas.
Cutting out clean ripple texture.
And Fairy's Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Creme and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Tesis and House of Dave and Marcel and Fairy's Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and the Creme and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Sam and Philip. Special shout outs to Sam and Philip. Hope you're both feeling better. David Jones and Winged Doggy. Woohoo! Thank you for checking in. It's Wednesday hump day. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, we're humping live right now. Are you here? What? I just say. Yeah, for anyone who is on the East Coast, starting at 9 o'clock East Coast time, which is 6 o'clock Los Angeles time, right a little bit after I end the show. The Sharknado 3. Some of you might want to get ready to watch that. What channel is it? The Sci-Fi Network, Linda? Hi, Philip and Sam on YouTube. Sam says, please stop talking about humping. Hi, Marcel. Let me make sure I got everyone. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Woohoo! All right. Oh, speaking of humping, I don't know. Made me think of dogs. Made me think of today. I uttered a sentence I never thought I would ever say. I said, this is a sentence I said, excuse me, is that your dog's poo? Could you please clean it up? Excuse me, is that your dog's poo? Do you think maybe you could clean it up? Thank you. That was my day today. Yeah. Poo in the garden. Oh, and the person said, oh, yes, it is. Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. That's because you did walk away. There's a rule. You're supposed to clean up after your dog. If you have a dog and you walk it, you're supposed to have a plastic bag to pick up the poo. Some people, if they think you're not looking, if they think, oh, it's... Yeah. I'll just leave a little poo here. No, it's not fertilizer. It's not. It is not. Oh, you don't want me to just leave it there for fertilizer? No, thank you. It's not really fertilizer. That was my next sentence. It's not really fertilizer. Thank you. A shocker. David Jones says, at least it wasn't people poo. Yeah. Sam says he knows exactly how he's feeling because today he stepped in somebody's dog poo while he was mowing his lawn, and that's curious because he doesn't have a dog. So why would there be dog poo in his lawn? Arrgh. And the car guys looked at my car today. Speaking of weird noises and weird smells, it's looks like it might be the alternator. No. Ugh. Why? I've never had a good car in my entire life. I've only had cars that need towing and repairs and fall apart. Linda says another reason she doesn't want to have a car. Well, that and the fact that you can't drive. Trust me, Linda, the rest of us are very glad you're not on the road, too. Linda's like, yes, I can. Okay, I made that up. All right, well, maybe you can drive, but you're not very good at it. I'm sorry to be the one to break the bad news, but yeah, you're a horrible driver, Linda. Oops, my bad. Oopsies. When this says it's true, she's actually a very nervous driver. Yeah. Should I turn or not? I'll just sit here. Marcel says Marcel says not only is he an excellent driver for cars, he is also a boat driver, a licensed boat driver to drive boats up to 82 feet. What the hell? That's like a yacht. 82 feet. That's a big boat. He's now looking for someone to let him drive his boat. David Jones says you think why? Is there a lot of construction? David Jones says his drive to work has become an Olympic event. So many obstacles to get around. Hi, Wing Doggy. Is it that time of year? It always seems, I don't know about other cities, but in Los Angeles, where it's pretty much warm, sunny, not like cold all year long. I mean, you could do your road work all year long, as opposed to some places where, wintertime, you're not going to see a lot of road crews on the road unless there's an emergency. But like maintenance and road projects, you pretty much can do it all year long, spread it out throughout. But it seems like, I don't know if it's a budgetary thing, but there's like a couple months out of the year when all of the road projects are going on at exactly the same time. And suddenly you try to get across town and every single road has a construction site on it. And if traffic is already bad enough in Los Angeles, then you throw in a whole bunch of road closures, lane closures, blockages, detours, make crazy. Suddenly your 20-minute trip is like an hour and a half because you're on one road and there's a traffic backup and you fight over to another road and again. Well, usually it's like they're digging up part of the street to, I don't know, fix a pipe or something. So it's not just a pothole. It's like there's a gigantic hole in the ground. Tisa says, no way, really? Is it really? That's it? Tisa says only 18 more Fridays until Christmas. Doesn't seem like very much. Should I start making my list already? Sam says, I'm thinking of getting a new car next year. Would you like me to give you mine? Yes! Thank you, Sam! Sam says the 4 seasons in Pennsylvania are almost winter, winter, still winter, and road construction. Yeah, I want Christmas presents. Thank you, Sam. I will take the new car. Sam, you just bought that car a couple years ago, didn't you? I don't think I've ever driven a car that new. Sam's like, what, give? No, Sam's like, I didn't say give. It's got a trade-in value. Even though you probably put a lot of miles on it because you're in Pennsylvania, and when you drive an hour in California, you go 10 miles. When you drive an hour in other states, you go 50 miles. And other states where you have winter, that means you get like salt damage and stuff on the car. And rust. There's no rust on the cars in California. They turn into dust, but they don't rust. Your car is already 4 years old. That I've never driven or had a car that's only 4 years old. Let me just let that wash over all of you who've experienced a new car purchase thing. Never. Never had anything, I think, maybe 10 years. Nope, there are no rust on the cars in California. Linda says, I always get stuff at Christmas here. They make things, crochet. Last year she got a watermelon for Christmas. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, so 18 more Fridays till Christmas. Thank you for that important message. So that means anyone out there who's planning on getting a special gift for me only got 18 weeks of planning to get it ready. So for all you procrastinators out there, just want to give you the heads up. It's time to start thinking about me and presents. And Sam says, yep, I'm going to give you my car for Christmas. It's true. He just wrote that, for real. I'm letting y'all know. I might have made that up. I'll just put it out there and let you guys decide whether that was true or not. I just read, before I went live, I just read like a horoscope thing. It says, you'll often find Aquarians talking to themselves quietly. And I was like, well, that's funny, because I don't talk quietly at all. So I've just imagined here I am in front of my computer talking to myself. I retweeted it. It seemed very appropriate. David Jones says, do you have an Amazon wish list? No. Is that a thing? Can I make a wish list? Like, is that a thing? Like where people have like their wedding registry or their baby shower registry? I could set up a give me presents registry for. What a wonderful idea! David Jones says, yep, it's a thing. Wow! I need to set up a give me presents registry. Just Sam says his car is worth like 30 grand. Really? After 4 years, it's still worth that much? Wow. I've never driven a car that's worth that much, even new. You can see what Sam wants to know, what would he get in return for this wonderful used car. I'll give you mine. We'll trade. A I need to look into this gift registry thing. Give me presents for no reason registry.com. Is that what it's called? It's a wish list? I've never heard of it, for instance. Awesome. I'm signing up. It's I'm self-important and I want free stuff.com. Linda says you can make it private or public. Well, what's the point of making it private? I want. You can't get that many gifts if you have it private. Wow. All right, I'm gonna look into that. Now, does this have to be only stuff that's on Amazon, or can it be anything? Are there new cars on Amazon? Everything has to be on Amazon. Okay. Awesome. David says everything's on Amazon. Do they have? I know they have like stuff that you want to buy, but I'm gonna check that out. Though to be honest, I don't have a lot of things on my wish list, really, I guess. Marcel says the Dutch Amazon only sells e-books. Oh, wow. That's very minimalistic of them. Just like their furniture. Minimalism. David Jones says Roku 10 is better than Amazon. I have not heard of that. What is Roku 10? It's an online shopping site. I've never heard of that. I mean, Roku 10. I know eBay, and then there's another one. There's a European one, or maybe it's an Asian one that's supposed to be even bigger than eBay. But I think that's more of a wholesaler one. I read about it. Alibaba. There's one called Alibaba, which I think is like an Asian, more of like a wholesale version of eBay. And I don't know if you can buy it from. It's from China. Okay. I'm not sure if you can buy things individually or if you have to be like a store or a business and buy like, cases of stuff. I'm not that familiar with it. But I hadn't heard of Roku 10. Well, everything's going online, well, right now, soon, my prediction, they've got the 3D, the Rakuten. Rakuten. I'll have to check it out. Now with these new 3D printers that are still newly developed, and there's still, there's a long ways to go before they get really like state of the art. Right now they're kind of like specialized and more like gimmicky, but they can actually, with 3D printers, it's like instead of ink, it may have like, instead of ink, the printer might have like some sort of like liquid plastic. So you could send the 3D printer the program for like a plastic gun, and it will literally create a plastic gun that you can then pick up. But there, it will be soon like the Jetsons, where you'll have different printers for like a cartridge for food or clothing, and you put it in your 3D printer, and you'll be able to 3D print a cotton top or some sort of food stuff. So that is on the horizon, and they've already been able to print things like plastic things on 3D printers, and some like types of clothing things. But this is new. In the next 5 years, you're going to be seeing that exploding, and instead of the way that everything's going onto the internet. You don't go to stores anymore to buy books or records. You get it all online and download it. You're now going to be, you're not even going to have to manufacture clothes anymore. You're going to be able to download a t-shirt. Download and print up a t-shirt or a pair of jeans. Hi, Philip. Hello, Philip. Sam says he feels like he's in a time warp. And Philip says Philip says he wants to get me in a 3D printer. Yeah, maybe you can develop. Yeah, maybe you can print up people. So, well, the next thing after the 3D printer will be the teleporters. The next step would be teleportation, like in Star Trek. Marcel says, yeah, 3D printers for personal use are not so great yet. They need more development. Yeah, that's why I'm saying in the next 5 years, because the technology is like, it's like the baby version. It's the first kind of version. They're still finessing it and developing it, but you can see where it's going. And in 5 years, you're not going to be. It's going to put a lot of manufacturing out of business. Because you'll be able to download, a pair of leggings or a t-shirt. Or what's that? The long thing. And then I saw that. Marcel says in Amsterdam they're building a bridge from steel with a 3D printer. I saw that, and it was really cool. Because it's a printer that's got steel in it, liquid steel. So it's like Phil said move. Sam says I change everything. I don't know what you're trying. No. Marcel said they're also building a house with the 3D printer. Yeah. So you can see where the future is going with this. It's only a matter of time before everything is going to start being made by 3D printers. And you'll be able to download and create. The world is going online. And next you'll be able to download, the thing you're going to be able to download is things into your brain. Why learn French if you could download it? Ah, bonjour, chérie. Marcel says, finally we can download and print a woman who is perfect. Yeah, that was actually, remember that movie Weird Science? They made, they created the perfect woman. My favorite line, one of my favorite lines in movie history is, but first, I'd like to butter your muffin. Yeah. And let me just say, I have used that gem on many occasions. Chet, the obnoxious older brother, who's holding everybody hostage. Is first, I'd like to butter your muffin. And I think that what was the girl's name? The actress who played in it. She goes, why do you have to be such a wanker? Why do you have to be such a wanker? It's an English slang. It means jerk. Well, Sam, it's only a matter, I think, in the next 10 years, health-wise, not only are they able to develop things health-wise, in the next 10 years, they will have finessed regrowing parts of your own body. For instance, regrowing an organ, or let's say you regrowing a bad liver, or a spleen, or a nose, or an ear, or an eye. That's something that in the next 10 years will be something that's happening. So Marcel says that yes, from stem cells they've been able to grow things. So no, it wasn't Chris. It was Kelly. Kelly, the girl from Weird Science, was Kelly LeBrock. George's guy says, what I need is a droid that understands the binary language of moisture vaporators. These are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. There is the Star Wars series has been rebooted, and the rights to it were sold and bought. So a new company is producing the new Star Wars series. So I don't know. I haven't heard that much about the storyline, but they've gotten most of the old people back. So we've got Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill. back reprising their roles, their characters as the older version, playing older versions of themselves, which is kind of exciting. A lot of people, I mean, Star Wars, what is Star Wars like? What was the first one made? Like 30 years ago? Well, David, and not only that, but I think it might have been 40 years, maybe 35 years ago. Does anyone know how long it's been? What the anniversary is? Does anyone do the math? Is it like 35 years ago? Because Harrison Ford is now in his 70s. I think he was probably in his 30s when he did that. But so Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher are they're looking pretty good for they're all old now, but they're looking pretty good, and they got in shape. They obviously David Jones says 28 years ago. Is it only 28 years? I think Carrie Fisher is probably like 60, maybe 50. Georgia Sky says 40 years. Well, they've all, the three of them are looking their best right now. They're looking better than they have in a long time. Gotten in shape for their roles, looking really good. I'm very excited to see this because Star Wars has been around for our entire lifetime. So I hope they do it justice. I hope they don't mess it up because they're the last couple, the prequels. I don't know about you, but I wasn't so. They didn't. Is anyone here that really enjoyed the prequels? Sam says it's Disney that owns it now. It was George Lucas. Disney owns it now. I don't know if that changes anything, and that it came out the first one came out in 1977. So that's 77. That's almost. That's almost for what is that? 38 years. Almost 40 years ago. What the hell? That's crazy. Sam says that's 41 years. Wait. Marcel says 38. All right, who can do math here? 38. Marcel and David Jones both say 38. I said 38 too. I did math quickly in my head. I want to give myself a pat on the back for that. I hope I hope all of you are impressed with that because it's not even Thursday. I don't have the genius cap on, and I just did simple math equation in my head. Woohoo! Cheers for small victories. Sometimes, every day, find one little small thing to celebrate. St. Clinton. Hello, St. Clinton. Woohoo! St. Clinton says Star Wars came out in 1977. He saw it on the day it opened. And the day it opened, he said the theater was almost empty. Really? That's astounding. Linda says no one knew about it. No, and yeah, and most of the actors weren't very well known. Well, it was pretty cool, pretty visionary, and a lot of the special effects were new at the time. Now they seem old and kind of quaint now, but David Jones says his mother wanted to see it because of Alec Guinness. Hello, St. Clinton! Well, I am looking forward to the new one, and I hope they don't mess it up. It was the prequels were kind of disappointing and confusing, or confounding. Let me say confounding, not confusing, but confounding. For instance, the choice of Jake Lloyd as the young Luke, he looked like he was about 7. I don't know, maybe he was supposed to be 12, but he really looked like he was 7. He looked too young. It was slightly weird. He looked like a toddler. And so he was a little too young for the character, especially because in the next one, he's suddenly an adult and Natalie Portman is still the same age. Natalie Portman's in it, and they have like a little, like, I don't know, it was weird. And then the Jar Jar Binks was some sort of, it wasn't funny, it was annoying. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Marcel says, so L'Oreal doesn't like toddlers. It's true. In fact, for any of you who saw in the news, there was a little bit of a controversy. So I think it was in Boston. Some woman has a restaurant. Some people were in. For 40 minutes, their 2-year-old child was screaming and crying. They did nothing. Some of those parents that just ignore, don't hear their child. Finally, the woman who owns a restaurant slammed her fist on the table and said, "Stop!" And the baby stopped crying. And the people were like, "Oh, I can't believe she yelled at my child." Maybe you shouldn't have been so rude as to have your child screaming for 40 minutes in somebody's restaurant. It's pretty inconsiderate and self-centered of you. I mean, babies cry. If they cry, either calm it down, go outside. If your baby's having a freak out, go outside. Don't sit in a restaurant, somebody's place of business where everybody else is eating, and ignore your child. Just let your child cry because you don't hear it anymore because it cries all day. That's just rude, self-centered, and probably bad parenting. And yet these people are like, "Oh, I'm so horrified. I've never been so shocked in my life. A stranger yelled at my child." Maybe because you were ignoring your child. And as soon as the woman said, "Stop! Stop crying!" the baby stopped crying. And she said the people were just sitting there and they weren't feeding their baby. The baby was crying. Sounds like bad parents to me. Yeah, I think we should celebrate the woman who told. If I had been in that restaurant and the woman told the baby to stop crying, I would have clapped. I would be like, "Yes!" I probably would have said, I would have asked the parents if I had been there. I'm like, I mean, those are the same kind of people that will go to somebody's wedding and let their baby cry in a wedding. You know, if your baby's fussing, and babies fuss, that's what babies do. But as the parent and the adult, you should take the baby out of that environment, outside, out the door, out, and calm the baby down. It's not your baby's fault that it's crying. It's your fault. Sam says, when are you going to get a role on True Detective or another one of those shows? I don't know, Sam. That's what I'm going to put on my Amazon wish list. Do you think I can put that on the wish list? Marcel says, let them cry. Well, you can let the baby cry when you're at home. I mean, sometimes babies cry for attention, but that usually means because they need attention. And some parents say, oh, you know, don't spoil them, let them cry. But when you're in somebody else's business, somebody else's place of business, somebody else's home, someone's wedding, wherever, an airplane, then it's not just you they're annoying, it's everyone else too. And everyone else is not immune to the sound of your child screaming for 40 minutes. It's very rude and self-centered to like disrupt the entire environment of somebody else and somebody else's business. Marcel says turn up the volume. Yeah. Now there have been overreactions on airplanes where they've actually stopped the airplane and like turned around and kicked a 2-year-old, a freaking out 2-year-old off the plane. But again, I'd say that's the parents' fault. Because, yeah, kids freak out. But sometimes the parents should be able to calm the child. I know a lot of parents, when they travel, they have little distractions for their kids. Toys, books, juice boxes, treats, cookies, whatever. David Jones says, and if your child is rotten, just leave it at home. Yeah, if your child is not ready for public life, then don't inflict that torture on the rest of us. Marcel says, let kids be kids, and they're not adults. Yes, that's true too. Maybe it's not appropriate to bring your baby to an R-rated movie. Or a bar. Just saying. Oh. Sam has one more question. Okay, because it's actually 6 o'clock. Ooh, Linda's got to get a Sharknado. All right, I'm just about to sign off for everyone to get to Sharknado. Last question is, what's the going rate of a monetary gift for a wedding? Oh, I have so many answers. A new car. I haven't even, yeah. He hasn't even asked yet, Sam. Thank you. Sam says, I got invited to Florida for a wedding, but I'm not going to fly to Florida, pay for an airline ticket, a hotel room, and then a gift. Send a gift certificate. There you go, Sam. Send an Amazon $100 gift certificate. Happy wedding. Congratulations. That was more than enough for a happy wedding gift certificate, because since you're not going, you don't have to worry about, you're not like, they're not paying for a plate for food at the reception, so it's not costing them, like, because usually the wedding reception, it costs X amount of dollars per person, per head, per plate. So most people, if they're going to give cash, they say, okay, well, it costs them $100 each for us, so they usually. So, but you're not going to the wedding, so a gift certificate is plenty generous. Best wishes on your new life. All right, I'm just about to sign off so you can get to Sharknado. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star, and Shocker, and Sturgis Guy, and T-Sis, and House of Dave, and Sam, and St. Clinton, and Eric, and Petey, and Tim, and Ryan, and Photo, and Philip, and Mark Mean, and Star Raven, and Angie Jonas, and Fairies Lover, and Lucky Girl, and Azure Yusuf, and The Cram, and Marcel, and Jim Dandy, and Bill Knaus, and Scott Kimmis, and Sam, and Philip, and St. Clinton. Thank you so much for checking in. Great to see you guys on YouTube. And Wing Doggy, and Fairies Lover, and Lucky Girl. Thank you for checking. And N1QOV, and Joe Barney. Wing Doggy, thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. Kisses for everybody. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow for Stupid Question Day. Genius will be here. Bye. I think a little bit of genius has rubbed off on me today. You did see me do the math. Bye. I love you. If that's what passes for genius these days, boy, are we in trouble. I love you.